Ever thought about the wild side of Hollywood? Many stars embraced a party lifestyle, often turning to alcohol as their go-to companion. The allure of fame and the pressures of the spotlight led some to indulge far beyond moderation. Among them, several notable names reportedly struggled with their drinking habits, frequently spotted with a drink in hand at glamorous events or behind the scenes. This relentless pursuit of fun often came at a cost, affecting their personal lives and careers. Stories of late-night escapades and unexpected outbursts reveal the darker side of fame. These tales can be jaw-dropping, showcasing both the highs and lows of living in the limelight. As we explore these intriguing lives, prepare for surprising revelations that may change your perspective on some of your favorite stars. Grab your favorite drink, and let's delve into the ultimate journey through Hollywood's party scene. Elizabeth Taylor, a Hollywood legend, battled alcoholism for most of her life, despite her beauty and talent on the silver screen. She could consume large amounts of alcohol without getting drunk and struggled with addiction to painkillers. Taylor, known for her intoxication on set, eventually entered an addiction treatment center in 1983. She was the first celebrity to seek help at the Betty Ford Clinic, founded by the former First Lady who also overcame addiction. Taylor's recovery had a profound impact on others silently suffering. Leonard Nimoy, best known for his portrayal of Spock in the original Star Trek series, had a profound impact on Hollywood. Despite his initial doubts, Nimoy's role as Spock resonated deeply with audiences. Beyond Star Trek, he ventured into other projects like Mission Impossible and the documentary series In Search Of. However, Nimoy struggled with alcohol addiction during his time on Star Trek, using alcohol as a coping mechanism for the pressures of stardom. His co-star William Shatner acknowledged Nimoy's battle with addiction, noting how one drink spiraled into a larger problem. Nimoy sought help after the show ended, but later succumbed to smoking-related health issues, passing away at the age of 83. His legacy lives on through his iconic portrayal of Mr. Spock and his contributions to the entertainment industry. In the 1950s, screen legend Cary Grant decided that his alcoholism was probably a bad thing, and sought the help of a psychotherapist. This being the 1950s, the psychotherapist in question introduced him to an experimental but promising young drug called LSD. Grant loved the trips he took on the drug and introduced some of his friends to it. Julie Balaban, the daughter of Paramount president, stated, "I figured if it was good enough for Cary Grant, it was good enough for me." Grant is believed to have taken LSD about 100 times while being treated, but it changed his outlook on life, and he lived happily until passing away at the age of 82. Cary Grant was truly a unique figure in Hollywood history. Joan Crawford, a popular actress in Hollywood, had a deep love for Pepsi. Conveniently, she was married to the CEO of PepsiCo, Alfred Steele. Given her status, Steele awarded her a chair on the company board. Crawford became the official ambassador for Pepsi, touring the country to promote the beverage. However, she used this position to indulge in excessive alcohol consumption. During her tours, her rider demanded an impressive array of liquors, including vodka, bourbon, scotch, gin, champagne, and of course, Pepsi. Crawford's extravagant drinking habits were notorious, even though she often spent less than 24 hours in each town. Her extravagant demands rivaled those of famous rock stars, causing quite a stir wherever she went. Despite her glamorous image on screen, behind the scenes, Crawford had a taste for the high life and all the alcohol she could get her hands on. Dean Martin, the king of cool, once famously said, "I feel sorry for people who don't drink when they wake up in the morning. That's as good as they're going to feel all day." Known for his performing persona as a lovable drunk, many believed that Martin's glass only held apple juice, with his intoxicating charm being just an act. Holding a drink and cigarette, he exuded a sense of allure that made men want to be him, and women want to be with him. Despite his seemingly alcohol-fueled career, Dean Martin was a devoted father who always made it home for dinner, and enjoyed only one cocktail with his wife in the evenings. He seemed to have flirted with danger, but always knew when to draw the line. Dean Martin passed away in 1995 at the age of 78, leaving behind the timeless message that everybody loves somebody sometime, and that all dreams eventually come true. Shooting Jaws in 1975 was a tough ordeal for many involved. Robert Shaw, amidst big sharks and choppy waters, sipped on scotch, causing tension with co-star Richard Dreyfuss. Although mostly inebriated, Shaw remained sober for a scene where his character gets drunk. Dreyfuss admitted liking Shaw sober, but despised him intoxicated, once even tossing Shaw's drink into the ocean. Shaw claimed his only drunkenness was on TV, never in private. Despite the challenges, Shaw's performance in Jaws remains legendary. Michael Landon, known for his roles on Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie, was the pinnacle of the clean, well-respected man on television. Despite his image, he struggled with alcohol and Valium addiction. His co-stars were unaware of the extent of his drinking on set, as he would spike his coffee with whiskey and other soft drinks with vodka. After filming, he would continue drinking at the bar. Melissa Gilbert, his Little House on the Prairie daughter, revealed that she didn't know about his drinking habits as a child. Along with alcohol and painkillers, Landon smoked 4 packs of unfiltered cigarettes daily, likely contributing to the pancreatic cancer that eventually took his life at just 54 years old, only 3 months after his diagnosis. 30 years ago, Michael Landon passed away from pancreatic cancer. Veronica Lake, born Constance Ockelman in Brooklyn, New York, became the biggest film sensation of 1941 despite her struggles with alcoholism. Fame, motherhood, and 4 marriages did not bring her happiness. She tried to escape into anonymity, but stardom she never desired took a toll on her. Often arriving late and hungover on set, she clashed with co-stars and directors, creating a negative reputation. Not being taken seriously as a woman in Hollywood worsened her alcohol issues. In her later years, she did some acting and starred in a horror film before passing away in 1973 due to the effects of heavy drinking. Veronica once said she wouldn't change her life, as it made her who she was. It was a tough journey for her, marked by highs and lows. William Frawley's off-screen persona mirrored his on-screen one. A notorious misanthrope with a failed marriage and a penchant for alcohol. Despite lobbying heavily for the role of Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy, Frawley was virtually unemployable by 1951 due to his alcoholism and disagreeable nature. Desi Arnaz warned him that showing up drunk to work would lead to being fired and blacklisted from the industry. Surprisingly, Frawley never arrived intoxicated and formed a close friendship with Arnaz. When Frawley passed away in 1966, Arnaz honored him with a touching ad in trade papers. Frawley, with a modest estate, had a unique residual deal for his roles, ensuring ongoing earnings for his heirs from reruns of his work. Lon Chaney Jr. is without a doubt one of the most iconic actors in horror history. Apparently he also had a raging alcohol problem as well. Tales of Tomorrow was an anthology science fiction series that was performed and broadcasted live on television from 1951 to 1953. The series covered such famous stories as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Black Planet, The Last Man on Earth, and Frankenstein, which starred none other than Mr. Chaney Jr. himself. It was his live television performance as the monster on Tales of Tomorrow that earned him a spot on the Smoking Jackets' 8 legendary drinking binges that only celebrities could have gotten away with. What an honor! In a production of Frankenstein, L. Chaney Jr. played the monster. An urban legend states that Chaney was intoxicated during the live broadcast due to his heavy drinking. In the broadcast, Chaney is handed a chair, but instead of smashing it, he sets it down and shouts "break, break," while making smashing motions with his hands. However, Chaney later explained in an interview that he was not drunk before the broadcast. He had spent 4 hours in the makeup chair having his monster makeup applied. When the performance started, Chaney assumed it was a dress rehearsal and thus did not break the chair when it was handed to him. Between scenes, the director informed Chaney that the broadcast was happening live, so in subsequent scenes, he didn't hold back and freely broke pieces of the set. "Look, lady, if you're trying to scare me out of here, you're not getting very far. I'll take the cane. Please tell me, have you ever seen me before?" Of course. John Wayne, renowned for his illustrious career in over 170 films and TV productions, cemented his status as one of cinema's finest stars. Nicknamed the Duke, he captivated audiences worldwide, earning accolades from the American Film Institute as one of the greatest male stars in American cinema. In 1970, Wayne clinched an Academy Award for his role in True Grit, marking a pinnacle in his career. Even after his passing in 1979, fans relish his performances, though his personal life, particularly his rumored drinking habits, remains enigmatic. According to author Sam Allen, Wayne's directors scheduled shoots before noon to avoid his alleged afternoon drinking, which allegedly transformed him into a belligerent drunk. Wayne's son Ethan recalled instances of drinking aboard his father's yacht, highlighting Wayne's preference for bourbon and tequila. Reports from the Daily Beast corroborate these claims, portraying Wayne as a mean drunk by afternoon. Despite his alleged drinking, Wayne's outspoken nature on various topics left a lasting impression. While his drinking habits may be under scrutiny, John Wayne's legacy as a Hollywood icon endures. "I'll catch up with you. I don't know when, but I'll catch up," as the legend himself once said. John Huston directed such classics as The African Queen and The Maltese Falcon, but his true passions were drinking and having affairs. Known for his robust romantic pursuits, Huston's personal life often overshadowed his filmmaking achievement. His daughter, Angelica Huston, hinted at his larger-than-life attributes in her memoir, describing him as well-endowed. Marred by numerous marriages and infidelities, Huston's escapades rivaled those of JFK. Despite his wild lifestyle, he managed to create Hollywood masterpieces, often filming while intoxicated. During the shooting of The African Queen, he and actor Humphrey Bogart avoided illness by only drinking scotch. Bogart humorously remarked that even flies died upon biting them. Huston's legacy endures, his films a testament to his unique approach to cinema and life. Ava Gardner, a one-time Hollywood goddess, was broke, alone, and usually drunk. In January 1988, ravaged by booze, cigarettes, and a recent stroke, she called British journalist Peter Evans to ghostwrite her memoirs. By the age of 30, she had married and divorced Artie Shaw and Frank Sinatra, opting for abortions instead of children. Known for her tolerance of men who beat her when drunk, Gardner's strangest relationship was with Howard Hughes. In 1954, she starred in The Barefoot Contessa, portraying a girl from Madrid who becomes a movie star but meets a tragic end. Following this, Gardner decided to stop playing good time girls and pursued a life of her own, living in Madrid and indulging in fast cars and affairs with matadors. Despite her flamboyant behavior, she eventually retreated to spend her last 20 years quietly in London. The extended deathbed confessions of this legend were compiled in Evans's book, Ava Gardner, The Secret Conversations. Drink or sober, Gardner's life was marked by tumultuous relationships and a quest for independence. Gail Russell, one of Republic Pictures' most popular actresses, had a troubled life. Born in Chicago on September 21, 1924, she was a beautiful brunette with dark blue eyes and a gift for acting. Despite her talent, she struggled with shyness from a young age, often hiding when guests visited her home. In 1946, she starred in the first of 4 films for Republic Pictures. John Wayne handpicked her to star in The Angel and The Bad Man, a successful Western. However, her personal life was tumultuous. After a public divorce, she turned to alcohol to cope. In 1953, she was arrested for drunk driving and placed on probation. Despite efforts to turn her life around, Gail Russell tragically passed away in 1961 at the age of 36, succumbing to alcoholism. Her body was found by concerned neighbors surrounded by empty bottles of alcohol. Gail Russell's story serves as a cautionary tale of the destructive nature of alcoholism in Hollywood. John Cassavetes, the actor and director, is hailed as the father of American independent cinema and a patron saint of Martin Scorsese. Unfortunately, Cassavetes passed away at the young age of 59, succumbing to long-term cirrhosis triggered by his alcoholism. Known in the industry as a career drunk, his death shadows the brilliance of the films he created. The question arises, was alcohol the secret ingredient fueling Cassavetes' genius, like opium did for Coolidge or amphetamines for Jack Kerouac? Would a sober Cassavetes have been a lesser or even greater filmmaker? His relationship with the industry was defiantly nonconformist, rebelling against the tyranny of scripts and star systems. For Cassavetes, discipline was a hindrance, stifling his artistry. Stepping into a movie theater, viewers' reactions ranged from dullness to awe, reflecting the enigmatic nature of his work. Bela Lugosi, a Hungarian-American actor, is best remembered for his iconic portrayal of Count Dracula in the 1931 horror film classic Dracula. He also starred as Igor in Son of Frankenstein and had a successful career in various horror films from 1931 through 1956. Lugosi suffered from severe chronic sciatica, which led him to seek relief through pain medications, eventually developing a dependence on opiates, particularly morphine. His struggle with addiction began to affect his career, forcing him to withdraw from roles due to constant back pain. Towards the end of his life, Lugosi was a morphine addict and struggled with alcoholism. During filming, he would sometimes become erratic, even pointing a gun at a director in a drunken state. Long acknowledged as one of the best straight men in the business, Bud Abbott was born William Alexander Abbott in Reading, Pennsylvania, to Ray Pfizer and Harry Abbott, who had both worked for the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Harry was an advance man. Abbott dropped out of school as a child and began working at Coney Island. When Abbott was 16, his father, now an employee of the Columbia Burlesque Wheel, installed him in the box office of the Casino Theater in Brooklyn. Eventually, Abbott began putting together touring burlesque shows. In 1918, he married Betty Smith, a burlesque dancer and comedian. Shortly after his marriage, Abbott and his new wife began producing a vaudeville tab show called Broadway Flashes. This show toured on the Gust Sun vaudeville circuit. Around 1924, Abbott started performing in an act with Betty. As his stature grew, Abbott began working with veteran comedians like Harry Stepp and Harry Evanson. During the making of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein in 1948, director Charles Barton put up with Costello's antics, which included starting a pie fight with Dracula. A bigger concern was Abbott, who would get so soused by 2 p.m. that he was incapable of shooting for the rest of the day. Abbott later explained that when he was young, a doctor told him that if he didn't stop drinking, he'd be dead by the age of 30. The straight man was so worried about the diagnosis that he stayed drunk for the next 40 years. Gig Young, a talented actor who won an Oscar in 1969 for his role in They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, had a tumultuous life marred by alcoholism and depression. Despite his success, Young's personal demons took a toll on his career and relationships. His marriage to actress Elizabeth Montgomery ended due to his alcoholism, which plagued him throughout his life. He struggled with addiction, leading to lost acting opportunities and even being fired from a movie set. In 1978, Young's life took a tragic turn when he was found dead alongside his wife in what police deemed a murder-suicide. The actor's struggles with mental health and addiction overshadowed his accomplishments, leaving behind a legacy marked by tragedy rather than triumph. Gig Young's story serves as a cautionary tale of the pitfalls of fame and the devastating consequences of unchecked demons. William Holden, born William Franklin Beadle Jr. on April 17, 1918, made a significant impact on Hollywood cinema. Growing up in Illinois and later moving to Pasadena, California, he developed a passion for acting early on. His breakthrough came in 1939 with the film Golden Boy, which launched his successful career. He attended Pasadena Junior College and the University of Southern California before fully diving into acting. Holden became one of the leading men of the 1950s, starring in classics like Stalag 17, for which he won an Academy Award for Best Actor, and Sunset Boulevard, earning a nomination. His impressive filmography also includes The Bridge on the River Kwai, Network, and The Wild Bunch. Off-screen, he was an ardent conservationist and co-founded the Mount Kenya Game Ranch. A World War II veteran, he served as a second lieutenant in the Army Air Forces. Despite his accolades, Holden struggled with alcoholism, which affected his personal life, leading to divorces and a tragic drunk driving incident. On November 12, 1981, Holden accidentally slipped and hit his head while intoxicated, going undiscovered for 4 days.